Hello everyone and welcome back to their Thomas Wood Railway review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Oliver, and this here is of course Oliver the Excavator, not to be confused with Oliver the Engine. And yeah, this is Oliver the Excavator here, and he was of course featured in the Jack and the Pack spin-off series. He was featured in multiple episodes of that spin-off series, and then he was also featured in the Thomas and Friends movie, Soder's Legend of the Lost Treasure. And that was when he was like reintroduced into Thomas and Friends in the CGI series. And that's when this model came out here, was in 2015, which was the year that movie came out. And this model here was actually never sold independently by himself. You could only ever get him with Oliver the steam engine here, and that was in like a 2-pack called Oliver and Oliver. And yeah, that was the only way that you could ever get this Oliver the Excavator here. I actually didn't get this Oliver in that 2-pack. I got him in like another 2-pack where he came with like a cargo car with a fossil. So that's how I got this Oliver. But yeah, that was the only way that you could ever get Oliver the Excavator here, was in that 2-pack. But I feel like this is a decent model of Oliver. It's definitely not perfect. The color on him is not very good here. He's supposed to be more of like a lighter brown color, and that's kind of how he is in the TV series. He's definitely not this orange and this bright. So that the color on him is definitely not very accurate here. It definitely needs to be dulled down a little bit here compared to just how it looks here. I think that his bucket on the front is decent. You can kind of move some of these parts around a little bit. He does have some like articulation there on the front, so that is nice there, that you can at least kind of get some movement. You can kind of like scoop stuff up there. Now the bucket itself is very, very small, so there's not really much that you can scoop up with that there. Just because again it's so small that there's not really a whole lot you can do with that. But it is nice that it's at least there, and I feel like it does a decent job there. And the chassis here is way too loose on Oliver. You probably already saw that in the video here, especially like when I roll them out and stuff. It's just very loose. It spins around way too much. It should have been much more tight than it is. It's just, yeah, just way too loose here. You can just like do stuff like that, which I guess that is a little bit nice there, that it is easy to turn, but I feel like it's just too easy. It needed to be much tighter than it is here. And he also kind of goes back and forth to the side a lot as well. So yeah, the chassis on this is way too loose. And also he does not come with treads, which was a huge miss here. He definitely needed treads, I feel like. That's kind of a big part of Oliver the Excavator. And this model just does not have treads at all. He honestly looks more like a steam engine here with not having treads, because all he has is just like the regular wheels there. So yeah, the treads were definitely needed here, and it's definitely unfortunate that no treads came with this model here, because that definitely would have, I think, helped to elevate this model a lot here, because yeah, he definitely needed treads here. And then of course it does say Oliver on the bottom as well, and then it says like number 14 on the side. And the green color that they chose there, that's pretty accurate, so I think that looks pretty nice there. Like the door and some of the detailing on him is pretty nice. And then the face on Oliver here, that's very nice. Let me kind of lower that there so you can see that better. The face is very nice. I feel like that's a pretty accurate Oliver face there. It looks pretty good there. I feel like they kind of get the facial shape there very nicely. So yeah, I feel like that's a very good Oliver the Excavator face there. So that was done very nicely. And so that honestly, that's probably the best part about this model here. I really like that face a lot. The back of Oliver, I think, looks pretty nice as well there, with all that detailing and stuff there. So that's pretty nice. And yeah, just overall, this definitely is not a bad model of Oliver, but I think it could have been done better than it was done here. And there also was another version of Oliver released in 2017, and it was also released in a 2-pack with Oliver. You could not buy that one separately either, and that was the only way you could get that one. But that came out in 2017, and it was much more, it was like orange like this, but it was even more orange, and also the wheels were orange as well. They were not red like on this model. So yeah, that model is pretty similar to this one. The overall design of it was not much different. But I feel like this is probably a better version of Oliver, but they're both very, very similar, though. There's minimal differences in between the two. So I would say I probably prefer this one, but there's not like a huge amount of differences between the two different models of Oliver the Excavator. So I thought I'd mention that 2017 one, though, because there is another model of Oliver here, even though they are very, very similar. there. But yeah, overall, I feel like that pretty much does it for my review here on Oliver. It's a decent model, but I think there definitely could have been some things. There's definitely things that could have been done a lot better with it here. It's definitely just on the whole, it's overall way too loose here. So yeah, I feel like it could have been done a little bit better, but it's still a very nice version of Oliver, and I was definitely happy. I'm happy to get this here because I did get this model off of eBay. Relatively recently. So yeah, I was definitely happy to get this model here. So I think that pretty much that pretty much does it for this review here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one.